One day we will open the news and we will see world peace was achieved and everybody's happy, there are no wars and everything is perfect in the world. But until then, we will see all the mierda that is happening in the world. And in today's news, we will cover Greenland, Iran, Minneapolis, Trump, the European Union reaction, and so on. So let's move on to the news and let's watch what happened with Trump and all the news that's been broadcasted yesterday. So first of all, let's see Macron, the president of France, responding to the threat of Trump and his threats on imposing tariffs on European Union. First of all, my man, those glasses, if you're wearing them inside, you're a douchebag, okay? And why are you wearing glasses inside? I mean, are you high or something like that? And second of all, take care of your own country first, but let's watch what he has to say.
We have to fix prosperity in democracies. I mean, it doesn't make sense to have tariffs and be divided, and even to threaten now with additional tariffs. We can use the crazy thing is that we can be put in a situation to use the anti-coercion mechanism for the very first time vis-à-vis the US if they put additional tariffs. Can you imagine that? This is crazy.
World leaders assembling right now in Davos, Switzerland for the annual World Economic Forum. President Trump arrives there tomorrow, facing European allies deeply perplexed and very worried by his escalating threats to take over Greenland. This morning on social media, he posted this AI-generated image of him planting the U.S. flag in Greenland with a sign declaring it a U.S. territory established this year. Overnight, the president added his own baffling twist by leaking this private message from the French president, Emmanuel Macron. And I'm quoting now, "My friend, we are totally in line on Syria. We can do great things on Iran. I do not understand what you are doing on Greenland," end quote. And just a
How much power those people have? I mean, in one night, the moment Trump was saying that he's going to impose tariffs on Europe, the stock market just crashed. The S&P 500 lost so many points. And I mean, the people who suffer eventually is just people like you and me. And I really don't understand why do we suffer that? Why we let people with so much power to control our lives? This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. This briefing about Somalia and Minnesota from Trump did make me laugh. A bit sad as well, because letting people, murderers, rapists, human traffickers into the country, this is just crazy. I don't understand how some people are protecting them. But let's watch what Trump has to say about that, and it is going to be funny for sure.
It's worse. No, Minnesota, the crime is incredible. The financial crimes are incredible. And the problem is because of the agitators and insurrectionists, whatever you want, troublemakers, but they're paid agitators and insurrectionists. Nobody talks about the fact that $19 billion at a minimum is missing in Minnesota, given to a large degree by Somalians. They've taken it. Somalians, can you imagine? And they don't do it. A lot of very low IQ people, they don't do it. Other people work it out, and they get them money, and they go out and buy Mercedes-Benzes, and they come from here, they have no money. They never had money, they never had a life, they never had a government, they never had a country, because there's basically no country. Somalia is not even a country. They don't have anything that resembles a country. And if it is a country, it's considered just about the worst in the world. They come here and they become rich and they don't have a job. I was told that Ilhan Omar is worth $30 million.
First of all, 90 billion, that is a lot of money, but Somalia is not a country. And if it was a country, it's not a serious country. Yeah, I mean, people who came from Somalia to the US and suddenly started having Mercedes Benzes and defrauding and the people of Minnesota who are paying taxes and just making the life a bit difficult out there. And the moment it was exposed, suddenly everybody's getting angry. Why would you get angry if somebody exposed a fraud of 90 billion? And yeah, this Omar, whatever her name is, and going from 30,000, whatever she had in a bank account, to 30 million. So there is fraud, obviously. And some people are protecting her and protecting the people who are making trouble. Can you let me know why? And lastly, let's talk about Iran. There have been some reports about the US warship is getting closer to the borders of Iran. And Netanyahu sent some message to Iran. Nothing is getting better out there. And it seems like it's gonna get even worse and worse, but let's see what Fox News have to say about that.
And Iran intensifying its crackdown on nationwide unrest. Internet monitors report that the digital blackout is getting even darker and connection is increasingly unstable and reportedly going to last quite a while. Trey Yinks has the latest from Tel Aviv. Hi, Trey.
Dana, good morning. As regional tension grows with Iran, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has issued a new warning for the Islamic Republic.
If Iran makes a mistake and attacks us, we will act with a force that Iran has not yet experienced. No one can predict what the future holds for Iran, but one thing is clear. Whatever happens, Iran will not return to what it was.
One thing is sure about Israel and Iran is that if Iran will decide to attack, and based on previous experience and previous things that happened with Iran and Israel, so Iran is not standing any chance, but hopefully Iran will not do anything. I hope the regime will change out there, and for the people to be free, really free, and to go back to the good days that they used to have before the regime took over.
The remarks come as Israel's chief of staff indicated the IDF is prepared to employ unprecedented firepower against Iran in the event of another war. The chief of staff noted that many lessons were learned during the 12-day war last summer that already are being implemented. Reports indicate Israel communicated to the Americans it could absorb 700 Iranian ballistic missiles if it meant regime change in the aftermath of Iran's crackdown on protesters. Open source tracking data indicates more American military assets, including fighter jets, have arrived in recent days to neighboring countries like Jordan. Inside Iran, limited protests are ongoing, but sources speaking with Fox News say the regime is doing everything possible to keep people inside, implementing the equivalent of martial law. It doesn't stop there. We've learned that the IRGC is patrolling in Tehran while playing war anthems on large speakers. Some Iranian civilians have been able to leave on commercial flights and through border crossings to neighboring Turkey.
I was forced to leave because our work relies heavily on the internet.
People are suffering in Iran, suffering, and the regime is taking out people who are protesting against that regime, and nobody's speaking about that. I didn't see any protests outside of Iran, protesting against the regime and trying to protect the true Persian people. I didn't see it yet. And this is just makes me sad because those people are going through so much suffering out there, so much.
The internet was cut for a week and we could not use it at all. Even phone lines were down. When you tried to make a call inside Iran, it was not possible. Conditions have become difficult. People outside the country have no contact whatsoever with those inside Iran.
That internet blackout making it incredibly difficult for people inside of Iran to communicate with the outside world. Dana?
Okay, Trey Yings, thank you for the update.